Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the Dover Select Board meeting to order on Tuesday, January 6th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. First order of business is public comments. Bobby.
Yeah, I just wanna know if it's town policy that highway don't come out after 10 o'clock at night until 4 o'clock in the morning. If that's a new policy or if that's just what's happening.
There is no new policy that the
Okay,
board
'cause
has
it never
put
was
out.
a policy, I just wonder if that's a new policy.
Anything you want to say, Ben? No?
No.
No?
Okay,
Okay.
I'm just curious why they're not out, that's all. Cause I think it's a public safety issue for fire and rescue. And the ones that have to work at night,
Mhm.
that's all, okay, told you to be quick.
Travis, is there a situation where between 10 and 4 you would come out? And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's got to be more than an inch of
Yeah.
snow, something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Well, I'm talking about ice storms.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that is okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's sometimes our guys are worked to the bitter. They're just done. On some of these big storms that last multi-days. So if they can get some rest and
We were, the ice storm, we started at 10:30 Sunday night
Mhm.
and we went home at 3 Monday. The following,
Wow.
for a couple hours, and then two of us came back in at 6 later on Monday night for another round,
Yeah.
so.
We also have to think about the safety of our drivers of the trucks. So it's a hard line to balance. And I appreciate you guys both know that very well. But we only have a certain amount of reserves in terms of man hours that we can put. So okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Anything else under public comments? Additions and deletions to the agenda. Are there any? Yes, Andy.
Vicky, it's not really an addition to the agenda, but I'd just like to acknowledge, Mark Hookwell is here, and I don't know if Sharma's here, but I sent an email that you probably read regarding appropriations and increases in appropriations. So if there's a way, when you address the budget, is as early in that process in the meeting as you could, if we could address that so we don't keep them too long, I would request that.
Okay, we will jump on that when we get into the budget.
Perfect, thank you.
Anything else for public comments? All right, we're gonna go on to unfinished business. Review the fiscal year 26-27 budget for potential approval and or schedule special budget meeting. Okay, so we'll jump right into Grace Cottage. Grace Cottage is asking for a $500 increase on the appropriation. They're going from 3,500, they're requesting 4,000. They have been a long time recipient of an appropriation. And also, there's another one that's looking for more as well.
Senior Solutions.
Senior Solutions is looking for $200 more.
I believe.
So the question, I guess, to this board is, are we going to ask for those to be warrant articles or just add $500 and $200?
Sharma is coming on, she's from Grace Cottage.
Yeah. Just let her come on.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Sharma.
Hi there. How are you all? Am I late?
No, you're not.
Right on time.
We take off when we get here. So
I don't blame you. And thank you so much for letting me come on and talk about Grace Cottage a little bit. You saw our town report, I hope?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you know about the numbers that we do, and that of course we're available to see all patients, all comers. Quite a few are from Dover. I don't have the exact numbers, so if I can provide those for you, I certainly can follow up with that as well. One reason, the main reason for us asking for an increase this year is we are facing some severe headwinds. The last 2 years, we've been under some strict budgetary restraints, handed down completely appropriate from the Green Mountain Care Board. As we know, we have an affordability issue in the state, and we're working with the Green Mountain Care Board to reduce our expenses, but it leaves very little for other things that we do, and we expect that the number of our patients who are going to be dropping off of insurance this year and not able to pay their medical bills is going to increase. So we are looking for towns to help us fund that patient care fund. Typically, we try to raise between 1.6 or 7 and $2 million to make up for the shortfalls of what it costs us to provide care and what we're actually able to receive. And you all have been so generous to us to help us do that over the last many, many years. And the reason, as I said, for that increase is I expect that our gap between what it costs us to provide care and what will be reimbursed is going to grow.
So, right before you came on, Sharma, we were, I was explaining that obviously the town has supported Grace Cottage on an annual basis for quite a while. And we were just gonna consider whether to approve the $500 for Grace Cottage and the $200 for Senior Solutions, the increases, and not have it as a warrant article. And so that was what our discussion was gonna be.
That's wonderful. Thank you. If I can answer any questions, do let me know.
Board members, comments?
Question.
Yes.
So the question you asked, so I understand it, is if it's a warrant article, it goes to town meeting. Otherwise, we just approve it as a budget line item.
Yeah,
That's
correct.
the alternative
Yes, we'll just approve it with the budget.
with the budget, or becomes part of the
It'll
budget.
part of the budget. So some articles in particular, ones that are 5 figures and over,
Yeah.
except for sevens. If we want them to come and speak to us every year about what they're doing going for. If it's a first year and or if it's a 5-digit, it has to be a warrant article.
As Grace Cottage and Senior Solutions done typically is the past practice then that they are a warrant article, or they?
No, they're not a warrant article. They've been asking for 3,500 for the last recent history.
I don't think that these changes that are proposed are, my views, are material enough to merit changing that.
Other board members?
I was just. Yeah, I don't see that that's the kind of thing that's going to ruffle feathers in voters' minds. Do you know what I mean? That they would want the opportunity to talk about it as an isolated item. If it was doubling or something like that, it'd be a little different.
So Joe, Grace Cottage is asking for $500 more and Senior Solutions $200 more. And so we could do it two ways. We could just put it in and approve it, because make it part of the budget or make them 2 warrant articles.
I think if they're gonna increase it, that they should go and speak to increase it. So, yeah, I mean, we should make it as a warrant article.
Sarah,
That's more work, but they should let people know why and where.
like Sharma, just let us know why. Dan, you have anything?
No, I don't think it's necessary. I think we could put it in the budget. I don't think it's that much money.
I'm
Sarah,
happy to speak to our request if you'd like me to.
If we're,
Just let us continue to hammer this out a little more.
if we. Don't create a separate warrant article, we could still ask them to come and speak to it, right?
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to have
No,
a separate warrant article just to get them to come and talk to us,
no, and we had the luxury of having Andrea
right
Um,
here.
here in town, so She would, if anybody had a question, she would speak to it. Sharma, did you plan on coming to town meeting?
Well, I had planned on attending my own town meeting, of course.
And Mark?
We, we certainly make every effort to attend town meetings where we are requested. Whether it's me or one of my staff, we would make every effort to be there.
Okay. So what's the straw poll on this one?
I would vote to just leave that as it is and ask and make a request that they speak. That would be my inclination.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If they're looking for an increase that would trigger, like otherwise trigger them to meet a warrant article, but at some point there's just an efficiency factor in that day that there's just so much other things we do these small amounts.
Dan, you said that you don't think it's necessary to warn it, and Joe, you think it is. Okay, well, it sounds like it's 4-1 on that one, so I think we'll just put it in the budget at this point and hope the voters approve the budget. Sarah?
They write letters to go into the town report, right?
Yeah.
So Sharma's letter could include, if she's not able to attend, or you don't have a staff member who could attend, that would be a place where you could make that explanation that would be published as part of the town report.
We will,
And then
we will
that information would be
certainly,
out to us.
we will certainly add that. I think that's definitely something we should do, and we will. And certainly, if I can find somebody to speak, whether it's me or somebody else, we are very happy to do that.
Sounds like a good.
All right. Yes, Joe.
By Friday, the letter to Andy.
We can do that.
So you know,
Yes.
I've been seeing a lot of emails.
Okay, so that's I think how we're going to proceed.
That sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for.
Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, folks.
Okay, so now we're gonna start back on the regular budget. We have a few things we have to decide tonight, like pay increases, and there's so the budget right now, if all the articles that are gonna be warned are warned and passed, it's a 8% increase over last year. Right now, we have, for the most part, except for highway, 3% cost of living increases. Tabby has asked for 5%. And what is in this art budget right now is a police department increase of 3%. What do people think about that?
You look at me first.
I know you've got an opinion.
Always have. It's come a time that a 3% is a merit across the board. Not because I want to. There's two unknowns coming up this year. Number one, we have the reappraisal. We do not know how that's going to all end up in affecting our taxes. And number two, we have no idea where the healthcare insurance premiums are going to go. Come half, so going into next year. So that's my only say. It's not. I appreciate all of our staff members as a taxpayer and as a select board member, but this is a year that it's already at 8%. Anything we can do to keep it is going to be better for our community and our benefits. It's all so.
Sarah,
I'm kind of sorry Marco's not here because I've just to know what the difference between a 3%, 4% and 5% across the board would actually come out to.
we have that information only for the police department,
Right.
Which is 3, 5, 8, and 10.
Right.
So I don't know what that's going to look like. Joe.
The other thing too is I would prefer as our head of departments, you know, we give them a bucket of 3% and unfortunately, maybe one employee is not performing as well, maybe they get 2%, maybe they give more to someone else. That is okay on my,
I think we've directed the,
that's how we've done it in the past.
Right.
That's what I.
but these are individual people who, like admin people. I mean, we don't have names on it, but everybody knows who this is, so.
Right, and that's, you know, but I would agree on principle that departments that oversee some employees, that if they feel one way or the other, that they can try to make that a more fair system like this.
Other comments about this? So another employee has asked for the opportunity to have a merit increase. So that would adjust a 3% up. That other employee has been informed that the performance does if there's extra money in there, it has to be on performance. So that would be, I mean, there aren't names here, but the assessor's office is asking for a higher increase as well. So but again, that would be money that would only be used if that performance met our expectations.
It creates the opportunity for that raise. It doesn't
does.
guarantee that raise.
Does. Comments about that from anybody as well?
No, I think, I'll come back. I think that that's a fair statement of the conversations that we're creating a budget room for that, but that doesn't warrant, it's tied to performance and time to specific performance. Things we'll discuss.
So that number would change to 6 or 7?
Yes, subject and max.
Subject.
Max.
I agree.
Joe,
Sure.
6 or 7?
6.
7.
Just 7.
I hear 7, I hear 6.5.
Give us, I thought 7. Flexibility.
I'm sorry, I've lost you.
Yeah, me too.
No,
It's okay, Shannon, I'm with you.
So we're putting extra money in the budget for next fiscal year based on somebody requesting a merit increase. But the merit increase has to be warranted
That's what that.
It has to be justified by
It does.
merit.
by merit. So, and that would be the assessor.
Okay,
So 7 in there.
so, I mean, I have the spreadsheets, I can, you know, play with these numbers, but.
Okay, well, this is something that we met with Linda and we agreed to do. So we are doing this. 7, but that should, and you should probably give your information to Jeanette for a file, for the personnel file.
Yeah, okay.
Patrick, put it down. All right. Then what?
Well, if police, we only did a 3%. Do we need to? We know they're expecting or have requested more than that. So should we be looking at that number too? We were going to look at 3, 5, 8, and 10 in terms of the overall cost, not just the salary. And I didn't. If I got that piece of paper, I lost. I have a piece here.
It's actually surprisingly less than you would think. Okay, here is,
Payroll number, right? Right, that's the one we're looking.
here's 5, here's 8, here's 10,
And 3's in the budget.
and here's 3.
Got my other piece of paper here.
Can I ask, just so I understand, when it says 5%, that's a 5% aggregate, including the 3% COLA? Or is
No,
that
that's 5%.
on top of it? Or is it?
No, just 5%.
5%.
Whatever that number is what it is.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes,
I have spreadsheets here, it would be helpful just to read out the numbers.
there is just writing them all
I'm
down.
just writing it down. So it looks like. Not counting, I'm not putting that in change, but if we did a 3% across the board for the for the police department. It would be $871,130. If we did 5%, it would be $883,359. 8% would be $897,455, and 10% would be $912,79. So.
What number I had there, was your 5% number,
What did you have?
882, 830?
Yeah, that's what's on this list.
Oh, what did I write down? Why did I write?
I don't know. So a 5%, the subtotal would be a 0% increase. The 3%, it would be a negative 1%. The 8% would be a 2% increase in their overall salary budget, and it would be 3% for the 10. Yes.
Okay, I'm still not following you. So I'm looking at what Mike gave us for numbers, right? For the salary numbers. So what's in your budget that I printed out was for the 3%.
Yeah.
Which was $557, $436.
Okay, so we're looking at
So
this whole,
what are you looking at?
this is Marco's spreadsheet sub page that I printed out. So it is $557,436.
Yes.
But so we're looking at all in with all the increases.
Total police department, is that what you're
Well,
quoting?
yeah.
With all of the costs that go along with.
Right, so not
Right.
just salaries.
Right.
No, so
That's where I
so
was-
we're just looking at the full ramification of having a 3% versus a 5% versus an 8%.
Gotcha.
So another way to look at it is a 10% increase is 41,000 a year more than a 3% increase.
Mhm.
An 8% increase is 26,300 more than a 3%. And a 5% increase is 11,800 more.
So here, Jeanette, look at these sheets. We're looking at the increase, which is in the right upper corner, and then the whole, how it all shakes out as you go down.
Okay, that's not what I have, but that's okay. I'm looking at the whole spreadsheet, so. With those numbers in there, with the 3% in there, I come up with a total payroll. Of $944,573.36. Which is a 7% increase.
So that information that's out there in the budget spreadsheet, that might be old or odd. Okay, well, that's not good then.
That's not what I'm seeing. The working budget.
Interesting.
Unless there's something funky here, I'm not seeing that.
So he's looking at these papers in group system and then they're saying.
She's looking at her
Whatever.
as the police department budget with 3%.
So what was, I'm sorry, so your total was 9 something with a 3% increase?
Yes, the subtotal for payroll.
No.
Yes.
That one of those sheets.
Yes. Interesting.
Yeah, so you're saying.
I'm seeing it too.
Okay.
Okay. So it's actually, yes, the subtotal for payroll with the 3% is 7%. So don't, I think you want to disregard this
No,
stuff.
I'm just seeing if there's something missing somehow.
Yeah, that's what I was looking to see.
But there's not, all the line items are identical. I mean, in terms of not the numbers, but in terms of all the line items in there are on these sheets, there's not a line item
Weird.
missing. That would account for that differential,
I see what you're talking about.
right?
Something doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this is a completely different number than this one. For sure.
When did you receive?
But the numbers are the same.
I went the last budget
Wait a
that,
minute.
not today's, but the one that came out over the weekend. I printed the whole packet with all the subs
Yeah.
that feed in.
The difference is the retirement number.
Oh,
It's down 97% on these sheets,
Right.
but it's up 24%.
I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep. That's a problem,
That's
So
the
the
big difference.
The number that we had was 1,900.
which is not impossible, no. Okay, so let's disregard those.
So if we, well, what is it, 19?
Do you want to do
39.
that? I'm not just putting it.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yes, yeah,
75, 381.
944, 573, 36.
yes,
That's it.
okay.
And then
Yeah, that's in here, but if we took,
I'll take it to the others. So then that changes the 5% to 956, 273 or 2.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess it's that healthcare stipend that finance.
That changes the 7.5% to 970, 857.6.
tell me that
970, 897.6.
this is the 8%,
That's 7.5 is what it says. I don't.
7.5%. I need a better, I'll start over. Okay, so with a 3%, it's what's in the budget.
3% says 944, 573, 36.
Mhm.
5% says 956, 273, 02.
Okay,
7.5% is 970, 897.6.
wait, 970,
970,
yeah, okay,
97.6. 10% is 985, 522.18. 985, 522.18.
you think I can write as fast as you can talk, you're just wrong.
I'm assuming that.
Okay, so from the top to the bottom, that's about a $50,000. $40,000 increase if we go to the 10.
40,988.42. And what does $41,000 mean on the tax rate?
There's $100,000 a penny if you got $1 billion grand list. And a penny on a $300,000 home is whatever calculator.
There actually are $300,000 homes around there.
Right, well, yeah. So. Let's see. So.
$3,000.
No.
So. On a $300,000 home, your grand list number is take 2 zeros off of that, which is gonna be 3,000 times 3,000 pennies, right?
Right.
3,000 times this is 0.01, $30
$30.
on a tax rate of.
That's for 100,000 and we'd be looking at the most was 50,000.
Yeah.
Right, that's right.
So, the difference between a 3% raise and a 10% raise is $41,000 on the budget.
I know that when we had our budget meeting with the chief, we kind of felt that we wouldn't be doing the 10%.
I think 7.5 would be.
I think 5.
Yeah.
I think 5. What do you?
I think 5.
I think 3, because again, we do not know how much it's going to cost us for insurance halfway through the year. And I am scared for that number. So I'm not trying again. You know. That could be, more sense on the dollars than we're gonna know. And it might not be the premiums, it may be the deductibles. And the HRAs are higher that we have to fund to pay. So those are the things, again, we've done very well over the last 4 years. Giving raises, and this is a year. We need appraisal or whatever, and I'm not trying to hold it down, but I'm just like everything.
Well, you are trying to hold it down, we're
I'm
not.
not trying, I'm not trying to hold it down, not holding it down, I'm holding it down because of the unknown that I do not know this year. So that's
So
how I feel, so.
I agree with you on the medical, I mean, I don't think that a 5% increase next year is really gonna be, I think it's gonna be way more than that. I would agree with that, and if we've only put 5% in, I think that's probably a pretty scary number. All the way around.
No, we put in 3, so.
No, I meant 5 on the escalation of premiums for insurance. That seems low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Say medical premiums are only in at 5%. I think I agree with Joe. I believe they will be higher.
So that's gonna be, that is in my, that is part of compensation, and that's gonna be a pretty good chunk of extra change coming from the taxpayers. When you do the cents, adding on with the salary, we're not putting on the extra cents for that, where we are gonna absorb that difference. If it comes out that we're better, then next year we can relook at it and do for the budget, and our year comes out pretty good, we can readjust it. That's all I'm saying. We have, and I'm not, I'm the bad guy sitting here because, whatever, but that's the reality of it.
Sarah?
Well, should we be changing that 5% on medical premiums? I mean, it seems like a kind of foolish thing to expect.
Right.
That would be less, well, actually, it's
That'd
only
be
for
about-
half the year, so it wouldn't represent a true 5% increase across, but still, should we make that 8 or 10? And have that, and be prepared for that?
Well, this year was really an anomaly in that it was so much lower than it had been, but honestly. The insurance industry is gonna take a hit on this because a lot of people aren't gonna have insurance.
Yeah.
And the hospitals are gonna take hits on it. So people are just gonna drop their insurance because they can't afford it.
Right. So the ones who are gonna be insured are people who have group policies like down in, like municipal employees,
Or as old people,
or as old people.
so.
Hey, I got Medicare, baby, I'm
So, it's like a crystal ball, you just don't know.
I really feel like we need to raise that percentage increase on the medical payments. That just seems like that seems just really unrealistic.
It is only for 6 months though.
Yeah, but still, that would represent like a 10%, right? Or wouldn't actually
I mean-
be exactly that, but.
I'm in agreement with Sarah that a 7 or an 8. Maybe we all can go around the table, who likes 7 or who likes 8,
6
would
now.
be better on that, and that's a huge number. It's almost as much on the salary side, if not more, so.
Yes,
Joe, I'm actually sympathetic. You're kind of almost persuading me here.
I'm not trying to persuade anyone, I'm just trying to be the best all around.
Here's my view. I think we do need to add to the medical premium, probably across the board, the medical premium. I think we need to give that some thought. I'd be hesitant to have fly decided 7 to 8%, unless we just have to, and put a number there.
It's a crystal ball no matter what.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's a way to get some indication, some objective metric from someone who's looking at it to say, hey, should we spend next year? Whether it's a broker or something who does that.
Andy.
Our broker, yes.
Patrick, to put this bug in your ear. We're hoping to have a warning that we can put in the town report that you can sign that I can post, which will have the big budget number.
Yep.
So, you know, if you don't come up with that number tonight, we're hoping that you will be able to do that. If you don't, we'll need a special select board meeting next week. Because the time is running out in order to get the warning. It's driven by the town report and the printing of it and when it gets delivered in
That
town
was my
meeting.
question. Thank you.
Right on.
8%.
Joe.
So. I have spoken to some people that are in the field. So they're scared. Because they couldn't believe how little that the Vermont. Vermont Care Board only allowed them to get. So in a way, what it does is just like you've been saying. It pressures the hospital to cut things. Pressures all that, and then it pressures the people can't afford the premium. So it's a very hard. Sure. So it really, I'll be honest with you, and I'll say this in the room. There's the Vermont, they're the ones that decide. But if hospitals really start doing really bad and start seeing a lot of cuts, they're gonna have to, well, we're gonna, I guess that didn't work as well as we did, and I think it's gonna go more. And I hope it doesn't, and then we've planned for it, and then we can relook at how we do in the budget and go to a better, you know, raises for everyone if we can. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yes.
So I guess I'm getting head around the idea of, I think you suggested 8% is perhaps someone suggested that as a better approach. I think that's probably fair and healthy medical premiums across the board, I would say it. I unfortunately then that forces I'm concerned, and I think the chief raised some concerns about retention of the police department. 3% or 5% is kind of the range, I think, and I don't think that was the 5% listed.
I agree.
And 8, what does everybody think about changing that increase on the medical insurance to 8%?
No problem with it at all.
Okay,
But we ought to
I'd
pay
rather,
not just there, but also from the administration.
oh, everywhere they're all,
Payroll.
everywhere it's broken out. As part of a payroll, we think we should, because it is a scary time, and who knows. All right, so in my mind, right now, so much is in flux, Andy. I'm thinking that we're gonna have to schedule a special meeting next week, because there's no way, we wanna have this number right. We don't wanna have it wrong, and it takes, and I'm sorry, but
No, you don't have to.
there's just a lot of
That
questions.
I
Yes.
didn't want you to have to meet specially next week, but if that's what you have to do, it's no imposition on us. We still get the town report out on time and all is well.
I do request that it. I'm gonna have to zoom it. I mean, there's just
That's
no
fine.
way, so I request to kind of be. At like 9 o'clock, I assume it's gonna be somewhat efficiently fast, because we're just looking at quick numbers and getting everything kind of cleaned out and washed, so I hope we can get some, so I can look at comparison numbers before I, you know.
So everybody should get, when we get the next,
Because I spent time looking at it, now we're
changing it.
spending more time looking at it, so
Yeah. Well,
I prefer to have it earlier than later.
So you'd like to have it around 9 o'clock? Would Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, which day would work better for you, Joe?
If I knew the weather like Travis, I would know. Right, Travis?
Yes.
My season just like his.
I'm gonna be in Germany, but I'll zoom it, especially if it's 9 o'clock or so.
Okay,
Be like
Early evening for me.
okay, we can do 9 o'clock, right?
I can
And
do
just
9 o'clock any day except for Monday.
Okay.
just as a point of order, in the highway budget, their medical premiums were up 11.
They have a nice staff member.
Is that because there's a new staff member?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so
Absolutely.
it's based on a 5% increase, but then adding a person is what, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So let me just, I just need to understand, what are we gonna learn between now and next Tuesday
Sir?
that we can make? I'm asking my chair first. Because if we're rescheduling this because we're waiting to get more information.
No, we're rescheduling because we wanna make sure the numbers that we put in are correct and
Okay.
everybody's verified and checked them. Because if we try to do that tonight,
Hmm.
it's probably not gonna be the right number.
Right, so we're giving it back to Marco to fix.
getting it there, letting everybody take a look at it and look at it before the meeting and understand what we're doing. And just these, obviously, none of us picked up on 5%. So now we are, and now we want to make a change to 8%. And we have other changes, obviously, that we've discussed already this evening, so. I think it's just to make sure, because it's better to have the budget correct than the budget wrong.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Versus, actually, we're not gonna find any more information about how much the premiums are gonna go up next year. But at least we're giving ourselves a little more cover on it.
We're just correcting it to the assumptions that we're making today.
Right.
Okay, okay, good.
All right,
Makes sense.
Joe,
Really, the only two things is the site on the salary number and the health insurance number.
Mhm.
So, I guess we decided on, I don't know if Jeanette can plug it in, or you're saying there's more numbers.
I wanna be able to look at it again,
Okay.
instead of having it be so
See, yes,
fluid,
I will understand Chair wants to have another meeting and try to do skin, and I will respect that.
and we
I
will,
don't think we need it, and I'll put that there, but we can, instead of hashing it out, that's good. But it's
Jeanette.
all, yes, go ahead.
No, I'm just noticing like the retirement for the admin, there was nothing in there. So I
So
just
we-
looked at another part of the spreadsheet and that's actually 31,246 out of just 7% on the retirement. Okay, so that wasn't in there at all. Don't know why.
So there are
but it
other,
wasn't.
there are other things. that-
Yes.
Yes,
There
I
is-
think there's a lot of things in here that don't to jive,
There's,
so.
well, the budget I got, the dates are not. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned up on it, so I'm not gonna deny any of that. There's some dates and stuff that I don't know how, dates in the, I was looking through the different things on the one I had, so it's just like, is this 23, 24? I mean, just. So I don't know, so I agree with, let's try to,
I think we wanna make sure we're voting on budget that we are proud to bring forward in that it's got as few errors as possible. I mean, having lots of errors in it doesn't look good for anybody and makes people uncomfortable.
well, anyone that can sit here, if I may speak, on January 1st, halfway through our year, not knowing how much we're gonna spend in the next half year, and the fact that our insurance is on a half year basis. And those are the two real big numbers we don't know. We're doing the best we can, and I think we spend a lot of time, not that a lot of people come to the budget meetings. We spend a lot of time to try to do the best we can, so.
Yeah,
So just know that.
and
I see
everybody
it, and I hope everyone else sees it.
everybody look at this carefully when you get a new one. More eyes, the better. Andy's shaking his head, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so 8% on the insurance. Police department pay.
Five.
And.
Yeah.
5.
3,
5. All right, 5,
the number is 5.
5. What else do we have to talk about in this?
The retirement number for,
Yeah, well, they'll get that put in, obviously
Yeah.
Jeanette has found that.
you were gonna change the assessor to 7 from 3.
Yes, and right in that line, possible merit increase.
Right. Or maximum increase.
And. So, I think it's all on all of us to really go over these very carefully.
Yep.
Okay, so we can't approve the warning obviously tonight.
Yeah, a lot of time on it.
but you'll meet next week
When-
and, I'm sorry,
Tuesday at 9 AM.
perfect.
Yes, Andy.
Did you want to go over any of the rest of the warning? There's a couple, questions in there, or do you want to save that for next week?
I think we can go over the rest of the warning.
Okay,
So we are striking the Grace Cottage and the Senior Solutions.
Yep,
So. We don't have the numbers for general fund or the highway.
right,
Okay, bridge replacement fund. We were asking for a reserve fund for bridge repair and replacement, capital reserve fund, to be used for replacement and repair of bridges and to fund it with how much from the general fund surplus? Yes, Andy.
yeah, so I knew you wanted to create this fund, so I just put this language in there.
Mhm.
If you see the highlighted part there about funding it from the general surplus fund, you've done that with other capital funds you've created. You don't need to do that. If you just wanna create the fund and have a place to deposit money that you will receive in the future from a grant, then you don't need that information.
Okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to seed it with anything. You could.
I think we need to seed it because this bridge, the Bluebrook Bridge is coming and it's gonna cost us. We're not ready. We need to seed it with some money. So. Are we gonna vote it? We can do this all legally in one article. It doesn't have to be a two-step.
Might be four, you can break it into two steps if you want, we've done it like this previously,
Okay,
either way, whatever you think is best.
I would go with one because you can make them, we can amend the article on the floor and do it as two separate things if people decide that that's what they want. That's the will of the voters.
Joe?
I don't know if I'll say all that stuff.
I think I think we should start with at least $100,000 this year, and we probably are gonna need to ramp that up. Because it's gonna probably be $1 million plus by the time we have the funds to do it, even if we look for grants. Yes, Joe?
So I just have a question on bridges, and maybe I'm wrong, but obviously I am. I guess I always thought that the state kind of oversees our bridges and makes sure they're in fair shape. Now, I always thought that the state paid the majority of fixing the bridges when they need to be replaced.
Only on state highways.
Right, so I'm just concerned that other towns that don't have a huge budget and they have these, how do they afford to do their bridges, or should we be setting aside, like with trucks and everything, like life expectancy of bridges because they've just gotten so expensive to fix, Travis? I mean, it's just.
Created bonds or taken out loans.
So I'm
Yeah.
afraid of.
It's
So then that's not even more
Yeah.
expensive.
And we probably have less bridges than a lot of towns, like New Bay has the most roads in all of Wyndham County and the most bridges. Yeah, they have an enormous.
It's like 32 or something.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
it's in the third, it's close to third.
They have a lot.
Here's my
Responsible.
Mhm.
Here's my unfortunate ask. Is we have bridges and we have these box culverts that we, can some of our bridges become box culverts and they technically last longer? Or can we not sometimes do it because we have to go higher than what the state is?
Yes, generally, like nowadays, the state's only building everything, you know.
Mhm.
But they're not
Everyone always
overpaying us.
Thankful with and making sure structures are superstructures to make sure they can survive the 100-year floods and yes. So, yes, there are some structures that could become box culverts, you know, precast, but
Right.
some like that one will not, I don't believe.
Okay, so do we wanna put money in the fund, starting this year?
Sounds like.
What's ideas about numbers?
100,000 sounds not unreasonable.
Oh. And we'll know
Okay.
how much more we have to do when we find out how much to bring from.
Well, it's $750 in July dollars.
For the bridge?
Yes, and that's in this is past July dollars, yes.
Just as a reminder, I know we got an estimate on the life of the temporary repair that was done on Blue Brook.
Yeah.
Was that 5 years?
About 5 to 7 at the
5 to
most.
7,
5 to 7.
That will give us enough to
okay,
Get there.
okay, then 100 sounds right.
okay. So then we're striking article these two in the middle.
And we did agree that there would be there potentially is an opportunity for some grant money to help pay down the cost of that bridge too. But by having the 5 to 7 years to Travis.
We're gonna look for grant money.
Yeah,
Who knows?
But there are such things,
Yeah.
such grants exist.
Yeah, there are structures grants, they're only a couple $100,000, but that's,
That couple of
better than nothing next year.
right.
Better than coming out of my pocket.
Okay. And article the next article that we need to discuss is the loose knit group. They want to raise for us to give them $5,000 for to provide services to the town residents of town. They have been told to get a petition and they haven't done that yet. I guess they have until the 15th to get that petition in. We obviously this will be pulled if we don't get a petition, but that I just want to let everybody know about that they want $5,000. They do all the stuff with the kids at school, the food, and I don't know what other
They do
services.
the veterans quilts for veterans.
Mhm.
They do, and then they
But
are
these are
basically the ladies auxiliary for the church.
Yeah, and I think this 5,000 is solely for the Food for Kids program.
Okay.
From what the letters state.
So they're in the process, I think, of getting a petition put together and signatures.
When's the last day, isn't it?
15th.
Next Thursday.
Andy's got some pull.
15th.
No, I don't actually have nothing to do with it. If I had something to do with it, there would have been signatures a month ago, but whatever.
Okay.
You have the ear of.
No, I don't actually.
No?
I just assume not
Oh,
be
okay,
involved in that at all, so thank you.
okay.
And then the last significant change on the warning is shall the voters authorize the select board to accept the Westover Cemetery as a town cemetery? And Kathy Kaufman came in here and basically told us that she was paying for the insurance. They have nobody else that it will become an abandoned cemetery and the town's gonna have to take it over anyway. And there are some plots that the town could potentially sell still available. So we said we would do something. There are other cemeteries that probably will wanna follow suit with this if this is approved. But she specifically asked us.
Is there any number attached to that, but we're just taking it all,
We would take it over and oversee the maintenance and the mowing of the cemetery up here.
It would become a town property, so it'd already be in their insurance policy.
Right. Andy,
Yeah, there'd be a process. This is just the first step in a process. That it's under the control of a nonprofit of some sort at this point. There will be a deed. Any of their financial obligations will be met, and I believe the rest of whatever is in their bank account, if any, would come to the town, and then we'd have to be creating line items, and it would be a cost to the town, for sure. But all of those details are something we'll have to come up with for the people at town meeting. You folks might want to form an opinion on it or not. But that's a little homework for you and me.
I actually have, I went to the Vermont Cemeteries Association meeting several years ago with Patsy. And I have some books and guidance on it. But this is a standard thing. The cemeteries in Wilmington are all taken care of by the town. And it's hard when you have a cemetery association and you have 1 or 2 people left. And how do you want to take care of the cemetery? So
Just as a point, this actually was raised in the connection with the town plan, it's in the town plan.
I know, and I asked for it to be in there, I admit that. But the cemetery that I am the treasurer of at this point is not prepared to do this at all. That they want to keep control. So So it's a cemetery by cemetery association.
Not that uses.
So that's the warning and the highlights, so, that's that, I guess we're. What else do we have to talk about tonight on the warning or the budget?
That's about it, you know, you have library number, a new library number, you have a new Sevens number, they're using a different, a different population number, that one up just a hair. Not much, but otherwise,
We
yeah,
have the Eastover Fire Department in here now too.
and the fire department's in your budget, so yeah, so. Get a good looking budget together, and we'll be all set.
Great. Cool. Moving on, new business, Pam, thanks for coming, thanks for listening. I bet you know more about the finances of the town of Dover.
It's always nice to hear somebody go through a more complicated budget than what I had to do, but so that works nice. So my name's Greene, I know most of you, not all of you, I'm the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce of the Vermont Deerfield Valley Chamber of Commerce. It's quite a mouthful, so. I started in September. I come from a background of working with nonprofits and event planning, so that's some of the skills that I'm bringing to the chamber. And I'm really here just to introduce myself, and we have a full slate of summer events as we have in the past, the Blueberry Festival, fireworks, and the Wine and Harvest Festival. So I certainly will be hoping to work with you in the future on request for 1% funding for those events. But if you've got questions for me now, I'm happy to answer.
Welcome,
Thank you.
belatedly.
Thank you. We wish you great luck, and I think you'll do a great job, so we're looking forward to working with you.
Just came from a mixer with 2 spouses.
My
Your wife says hi, Jeff.
husband was there, so.
Yes, but he hasn't seen his wife. But
I was there for.
Oh. Dan was there for,
Great. Dan was there too.
would have been there for Youth Fest.
Yeah.
okay. Thanks, Pam.
Sure.
Feel free to stay or leave if you want.
Oh, no, because I spent a long day already.
Okay, we're gonna move on to resignation letters from Kathy Saccoccio, the library trustee. This is a notification dated December 3rd, notification of my intent to resign from the Dover Free Library Board of Trustees as of February 28th, 2026. Sincerely, Kathleen Saccoccio. So we
So the board will recommend an appointment to fill her spot, or?
what do we, so the library trustees, Andy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a long day.
So Kathy Saccoccio is vacating her
Yes.
library, so are we,
so, at town meeting, you know. If there was a gap between now and, no, she's as of February 28th, because she intended for her position to be filled by ballot at town meeting, so
okay,
her position will be on the ballot, the library trustees are aware of that.
Alright.
All the petitions are out in the world, for anybody who wants to run,
okay. All right, so we appreciate her service to the town and wish her well.
Accept it with regret.
Okay, now we have also the Wyndham Regional Wyndham Solid Waste Management District resignation of Kevin Stine. Kevin has moved to Virginia. He's stepping down from both, I don't want to read this whole letter, from both positions. He's served 10 years on Wyndham Regional. And he really enjoys working with Wyndham Solid Waste, has made good friends, and gives us some recommendations as of the town may want to look at how they manage and oversee the division of source reduction. As it has become more significant than a simple branch of the highway department, so whether we have a, recycling and source reduction department. So best regards, and I know I appreciate Kevin's work. He was very diligent about attending meetings and wish him well and his down in Virginia. Okay. Consent agenda. We need to approve the minutes of December 18th.
So moved.
Second?
Any corrections, errors? All in favor?
Aye.
We have warrants for December 20th and January 3rd.
I make a motion to approve the warrants of December 20th for $155,217.23. And January 3rd, 2026 for $112,847.94.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
The FYIs, tomorrow night, Dover Task Force Public Forum at the Dover Town Hall at 6 o'clock. It's gonna be a hot time there. Everybody better go. DRB meeting, January 8th, 7 PM. Planning Commission meeting, January 12th at 6:30 PM. Liaison reports?
Just very quickly, I attended last night the supervisory union meeting by Zoom. There's ongoing consideration of various options. Travis, yeah. Ongoing consideration of options for sharing of expenses between the Dover and Wardsboro schools as a way to try to basically cut costs and still trying to provide education to the kids in the schools in recognition of what they see as projections of enrollment in the coming years. There's nothing to report substantively in terms of decisions, but there's a lot of discussions going on. And as you might expect, there's a lot of passionate opinions, so.
Yes.
Lucky you, Patrick.
Okay. So we're gonna go into executive session for personnel. And I guess, I don't know if it's
With Tabby.
oh, with Tabby, okay. All right. So we, We're gonna-
John.
yes,
Yeah, with
and
John.
John's out there, so, yes. So we're gonna go into executive session for personnel, so thank you all for coming out at 32.